Boom. Yeah. The Texans fell. Yeah. Kind of a valiant fight. Kind of a sincere one, but when CJ Stroud got put on concussion detail, I think most Houston Texans fans said, "Oh, the season is over." Even if he gets off concussion watch, I mean, they're down what? It's 3 wins, 5 losses. It's still, it's not the worst record. That's the Tennessee Titans who they face next. So if they lose to the Tennessee Titans with a 1-9 record, 1 win, 9 losses, that means they're toast. Pretty much, I think. I mean, I like to believe in the underdog comeback as any other guy, but everybody likes the underdog story ever since the days of the Bible. David versus Goliath, I think, was one of the most original ones. And then, of course, the Battle of the Alamo between the Texans and the Mexicans. So, rumors have started that it will be a J.D. Vance 2028 Republican ticket with Marco Rubio as his vice president. So, yeah. I guess Bernie Sanders has been thrown aside by the Democrat Party so many times. He's been primaried and kicked out. And he's so old, 85. I doubt he's going to mount a run. On the Democrat side, I think it's kind of leaning towards Gavin Newsom and AOC. So, yeah, you think after 2 failures with trying to run a female and then a multi-ethnic female that the Democrats would back off. But they seem to double down even when they're losing in a foolish manner. They don't seem to switch things up. So... Democrats' most genius move for power was Barack Hussein Obama, a Muslim, half African, half white man. And so that was their most genius move to date, but it's kind of like a one-trick pony. You can't play that trick. You can only play that card once. It's kind of like your grandfather's inheritance. You can only play that card, or your mother or father's inheritance. You can only play that card once, but the money's going to run out one day if you don't invest or make your own money. So there's one-time life cards that if you can only play it at one time. So there's also limited life cards for political parties, and a one-time only thing, like a limited time only. And that was Barack Hussein Obama. Get it while you can, and because you won't be able to do it ever again. And so, the Democrat Party is finding their multi-ethnic or opposite sexual messiah. They're finding this person to be very difficult. I suppose the next incarnation will be AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Maybe they'll try American Psycho, Gavin Newsom, but they could try American Psycho with his Gordon Gekko slick back hair and all that shit. Let's try him. But he kind of looks like a really slick used car salesman. He looks like a really cheap used car salesman from the 1980s. You know. Looks more like an actor or a model or a surfer than an actual presidential candidate. Maybe some women vote for him because they want to fuck him or something like that. But it's like maybe some guys vote for AOC because they want to fuck her. That sweet Latina booty. But I don't think they have anything else of substance. Sweet Latina booty. One of the conservative pundits kept following around AOC going, oh, you got a sweet Latina booty. And then AOC riled up the conservative white men by saying, oh, all the conservative white men fantasize about me. And so that just made it more and more of a thing. It's like both sides kind of perpetuated that one. It wasn't just whatever his name was. That conservative pundit, what's his name? Nick? No, I don't know what these new pundits are. These new guys. He's not even new anymore. I just forgot his name temporarily. Sweet Latina booty. It was funny him walking around the Capitol of the United States going, sweet Latina booty, sweet Latina. Ooh, you got that hot sweet Latina booty. It was kind of amusing. Not your normal political fare, I would say. And so, oh, I didn't even get the fucking, I know what. I didn't even get the butter out, huh? Who let the butter out? I didn't even drop it down. Or warm the old pan here. Oh, man. Okay, so we'll try to get some breakfast tacos done. Put a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Yeah. So what's my prediction for the Democrats and Republicans tomorrow? I'm going to go with Zora Mandami because that Mr. New York bonehead old fart Curtis Sliwa stayed in the race. And because of the controversies and sexual, scandals of Andrew Cuomo, and actually the handling of COVID-19, I think a lot of people in New York State didn't allow a lot of, at least a rumor, a lot of nursing home seniors to die in their nursing homes because he wouldn't let them out. So he's got a lot of sexual and a lot of COVID controversies, and he was pushed out of the governor position in New York State. And so then he just ran for the lower rung, which is the mayor. And all his controversies, it kind of all built up, all the rumors and all the different scandals. And he ain't no spring chicken either. So all that shit kind of caught up with him. And there you go. That's Andrew Cuomo. Da, 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 da. Dun, dun. It is kind of controversial if you're like the Chinese Communist Party, like the Democrat Party, and there's a plague probably released by the Democrat Party in conjunction with the Communist Chinese Party. And it's amazing when they do exactly the same lockdown policies and lock. The only thing they didn't do is send federal troops to lock people in, and have people die. But, I mean, elderly people, nursing home, they could just lock them in, and it was no big deal. And all those people could die. And they were weak with weak immune systems because they were senior citizens. Yeah, so that was the controversy of Andrew Cuomo. I don't know if it's all true. I can't verify all this stuff, but that's what I heard. All right, on the rumor side. And he liked his power so he can get a little young ass. Yeah, it's like a familiar Bill Clinton type of story. Using your immense power and position to get some young intern ass. Sounds like a familiar tale. Literally. Then you got so a lot of people around the country are like, how could they let Zoran, moron, dim dummy, become the next mayor of New York City? One of the most powerful financial hubs and cities in the entire United States of America and in the world. Well, I've already described the Andrew Cuomo situation. Then you got this like Ralph Nader guy, this third party candidate. Well, I guess he calls himself Republican. Curtis Sliwa, I just call him Mr. New York because he's like, hey, I'm Mr. New York, eh? Give me a cannoli. Hey, yo, Adrian. He's like Mr. New York, right? Hey, I'm a New Yorker for life. Hey, I took down John Gotti. What's that? Mr. New York. So there you go, Mr. New York. New York, New York. That's Curtis Sliwa, or that's what he fashions himself as. Yeah. But he's an old fart. So both he especially is an old fart. He's going towards 80. He's a big time old fart. Old New Yorker fart. Kind of living in a different century, kind of. I know people in their 60s, 70s, and 80s, they're like, oh man, I'm really with it in the 21st century. I'm really with it. Because they don't want to be out of touch. I understand that. Nobody wants to be out of touch, over the hill. Nobody wants to be irrelevant. I understand. Probably the old lady down the road in her wheelchair doesn't want to feel that she's irrelevant to the United States experience. A lot of older people from the 20th century. And, yeah, but it is the 21st century, is it not? So, yeah, so this guy's Curtis Sliwa. He's like, man, I've been trying to be mayor of New York my whole life. And all these, clowns always took it from me. And now I'm going to lead a people's revolution in my final days as being alive. His final years. And now I'm finally going to be mayor of New York and live happily ever after or something like that. Okay, but the problem is that's all ego. And it has, if they had really wanted to take care of Zoran Mamdani, the Ugandan Indian socialist, Marxist Democrat, they could have devised a better plan than splitting the Republican ticket against him. But no, Andrew Cuomo and Curtis Sliwa, or definitely Curtis Sliwa, did not drop out So he's basically the Ralph Nader that defeated Al Gore, which allows George Bush, well, something a lot worse than George W. Bush, into the mayor's position in New York City, New York. So unless something drastically changes, it is predicted that Zoran Moron Momdani, who's never had a job in his damn life, in his entire life at 32 years old, will become the mayor of New York City, New York. A guy who's never even pushed a broom around for $5 an hour. A guy who's never had a boss. A guy who's never had a real fucking job. Dun, dun. Amazing, huh? Yeah. Well, who do I blame? I guess there's a lot of people to blame. Zoran himself. Curtis Sliwa for not dropping out. Andrew Cuomo for being such a corrupt bastard. I guess there's lots of... Yeah. The Republicans of New York for not running a stronger candidate to defeat Mamdani. Yeah, there's a lot of blame to go around. But, yeah. Here we go. Let me see what... Did someone leave a... Yeah, the sweet Latina booty. Let's see here. Oh, okay. They said, yeah, some people were getting angry if I said boomers were tech illiterate. And no, I mean, I wasn't saying that every boomer and every silent generation person is tech illiterate. Obviously, some of those people were engineers, computer programmers. Obviously, some of the people were good working with technology and computers, and that was part of their profession. So I'm not saying that none of them are tech savvy. I'm just saying being around the boomers sometimes, if you get around a lot of boomers, that there will be a lot of baby boomers that will say, oh, how do I figure out this app? And how do I figure out this new computer? And how do I figure out this and that? And it's like, it's not as ridiculous as the boomer that when I was in the computer center at Lowe's, the guy from Australia, Jeff, where he's like, mate, how do I get to the next page? And I was like, you click next page. Not all of the problems are that ridiculous or that cartoonish by the baby boomers. But, it can get into a ridiculous territory where somebody actually does not know how to use the mouse. The tech illiteracy can get so bad that somebody cannot even use the mouse or do a simple keystroke or something or move to the next web page. Things can get, some people don't know about computer. They're very computer illiterate. So, yeah. I'm not saying everybody has to be a wizard with technology and computers and be a computer programmer or computer scientist, or electrical engineer, but yeah. But I mean, it would help if there's some rudimentary technical literate skills that people could have, in the, I guess they would call it the postmodern world that we live in. All right. It would just be helpful sometimes if I'm not like the only guy who knows how to work a fucking computer sometimes. It would just be nice if I'm in a workplace environment where somebody else could be like, oh yeah, I know how to type, or oh yeah, I know how to move a web page, or oh, I know how to work my phone, or something. You know, it'd just be nice every once in a while. Just saying. You know. That's a ridiculous example, the Australian baby boomer who didn't know how to move the web page. Move the... Scroll through the... Okay, we're gonna get some eggs, y'all. I know. It's really good. Good stuff. Yeah, all right, it's time for breakfast, Steve. Breakfast. Here you go. Oh. So my prediction is that Scarelli will win the Virginia governor's race, and that the New Jersey gubernatorial race. Scarelli will win the New Jersey gubernatorial race, and that Earl or Winsome Sears will win the Virginia race. Yeah, that's what I predict. That it'll be 2 Republican victories, and then that really sore contested, bullshit election for the New York mayor's race will go to Zohran Mamdani. So, whoop, there is shit. Okay, so that's what I'm predicting, and I could be wrong because I'm not God. Only God can see the future, right? So, yeah. Scott Adams, the cartoonist of Dilbert. The creator of Dilbert and cartoonist and author and writer, is dying of prostate cancer. So he begged Donald Trump and RFK Jr. to help him out to get a cancer drug to hopefully prolong his life. But he's probably cooked. Yeah. So I had a family member that was dying, and they beat 2 forms of cancer. Actually, they were very lucky, and did their treatments and were very healthy and very health conscious, and they survived it. But there was a time when they thought they wouldn't, and so I found an old device from the relative who was dying, and I was just looking through there to see, if the computer could be used or whatever, and I found the video, and it was of the relative crying that they might die, and it was kind of a goodbye video, and it was pretty, it was pretty gut-wrenching, because the person actually thought they were out of here, and yeah. Now they weren't. This relative wasn't vlogging it on a social media like this is my cancer journey or anything like that. It wasn't public. This was a private video, and that computer is probably in a landfill somewhere, or maybe even up in the attic. I don't know if it's still there, but it's gone. All the data and everything. It was an old computer when these 2 forms of cancer were, it was like 10 years ago, befalling my relative. But I'll remember the video of someone just like, hey, Tom Hanks in Philadelphia crying alone in a room, sad. I'm gonna die. You know, lonely individual dying. And Scott Adams is broadcasting his journey towards death, his cancer journey, his. And so, yeah. Yeah. He's documenting his cancer journey. Like Christopher Hitchens used to say, the thing about stage 4 cancer is that there is no stage 5. Yeah. So cancer is what? It's a genetic incurable mutation of cells that eventually overwhelm your immune system and your body and kill you from the inside out. It's basically it just floods your body with mutated cells. And the only way to get rid of these mutated cells is to use chemical therapy or radiation and combinations of treatments thereof, and these drugs, experimental drugs, and other kinds of things. So, is there really a cure for cancer? Maybe the pharmaceutical companies, maybe the medical industry has a cure for cancer already. They just make more money off of people suffering and dying. That's a good, that's a good shot at it. Maybe that's. Is that true? It could be. I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of the medical establishment. So. Get those sausages going here. Yeah. First time I saw cancer, my first stepdad, was dying of cancer, and he actually died. And so I saw it when I was 9 in 1989, and then in 1990 he passed away. It was it April 1990 when he passed away? Right before my 10th birthday. Was it? They pulled the plug. We said goodbye to him in the ICU. First he was bedridden. He had a tumor from Hodgkin's lymphoma, and the tumor went into his spinal cord. And then one day he was trying to go to work to provide for me, himself, and my mother, and then he fell in the tub because the tumor was in his spinal cord, so he busted his ass in the shower, and then they rushed him to the hospital and all that. And then after that, it was a slow, agonizing march to death. And that's probably what's going on with Scott Adams. Now, Scott Adams will, if he's having an episode, if his face is turning white or green or he's not feeling real well, he'll cut the videos that he's doing Real Coffee with Scott Adams. If he's in a terrible, he might even call, for help. He's got like $125 million, so he might have a few nurses and stuff, on hand just in case the shit hits the fan. In case his body starts to fail him because of the cancer. Yeah. What I do remember about my stepfather with cancer is that he was bedridden. His face was turning green. And then your face turns deathly white in the ICU, intensive care unit. It was at San Jacinto Hospital in Baytown. I remember the face of death. It's just so stark, isn't it? It's like the green and the white face of death. So unique, isn't it? And so what they decided to do with my first stepfather was, who was dying of Hodgkin's, they couldn't operate it on it or it would kill him because it was located inside his spinal cord in his back area. So they decided, since he was pumped up on morphine and he was not going to get any better and he was dying and he was fading, that they decided, the relatives, to pull the plug. His brothers and family members, and I guess his wife, my mother, consented as well that it was time to end his suffering and to say goodbye. So they pulled the plug. Well, I mean, I totally understood why they did it. Now, visiting my stepdad and the cancer, they didn't want to say, they wanted to give me hope every time that he was going to live. So they didn't tell the little kid, like, oh, this is, your stepdad's cooked. I don't think he's getting out of this. They were going to wait until until he was actually dead, and they pulled the plug to tell me. So that's when they did. So they weren't going to, give me a bummer for 6 months to a year and say, well, it's looking like he's going to die. It's looking like he's going to die. They weren't going to, say that to a little kid all that time. Yeah. All right. Ooh. Get it turning. Don't get it burning. Get it churning. Start learning. Do a little dance cooking. Dance cooking is what's up. One of the strangest things is that one of the guys I went to high school with became a nurse at San Jacinto Hospital. No shit. So I always find that kind of amusing and kind of bizarre. It's a small world after all, huh? Or it's always 6 degrees of separation. It's like, how did my friend from kindergarten, for example, become my doctor or something? It's like, it really is a small world, right? Like, but you can explain that in terms of the human tribe, which 6 degrees is psychologically speaking, 6 degrees of separation. So that's easy. It's like, okay. Maybe cool off the pan just a little while, or I could switch pans, which might actually be better. Da-da. Yeah. So 6 degrees of separation is the theory that we're only separated by 6 people in the human tribe. So let's say Chris hates my guts. But we had some other mutual acquaintances and friends in that 6 degrees circle, and he doesn't want me to know that his dad died. Okay, 6 degrees. 6 degrees of separation. So Chris doesn't want me to know what he knows about his family and that his dad is dead. As an example, it could be anything else. It doesn't have to be a death. whatever the information that the parties want to conceal. It could be, Billy has cancer or something. It could be something different. It could be Rachel had a baby. Could be any shit. All right. So Chris knows somebody else that we know, an acquaintance. Let's say it's Todd. And then somehow I'm walking randomly on the street and Todd's like, hey. And hey, how are you? And he's like, you remember Chris? Yeah, his dad died just a few weeks ago. Man. Yeah, he got in a car wreck and his head went through the windshield. So Chris might have tried to protect the information that his father was dead, but since I met a random acquaintance out in the world, 6 degrees of separation. But it could work in almost any combination or capacity. You want to get a big one. Yeah. So people might try to hide their private information, but from certain people, not just me. I'm just saying, and generally speaking. And then people are like, how did you know that? Somebody couldn't believe that I knew that a mutual friend, that their brother had died. They're like, how did you know that? And I was like, well, she told me. And he's like, oh, really shocked. Really shocked. So information control, is that really a thing in the age of information? Not that privacy is not, there is a possibility of some amount of privacy. Silence is golden. So if I don't say anything, well, there's no information communicated. Somebody could blab their head and be the biggest gossip ever, but if I'm more silent, that closes down communication and information exchange. Or information transmission. So, all right. Let's do some. Well, get some of that coffee. Kofefe. Wasn't that Trump tweeted or something, or True Social? It was like Kofefe. It was like a meme for a while. Kofefe. Well, I hope Scott Adams, the cartoonist of Dilbert, 68 years old, I hope he pulls through. But life is very brief, and everything must end. Everything has its end. Everyone, everything. Yeah. Everybody. Every life dies. Everything should I get this more chopped up more? Maybe a little bit, just get like a tasty deal. A little bit more choppage. Okay. Do a little tasty choppage. All right, let's get these bad boys going. Maybe do some cheese first. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, my cousin's birthdays are this week, 27 and 29 respectively, but they don't give a shit if I wish them happy birthday. And they definitely don't send me a birthday card every year. So I'm not saying fuck them, but I'm not going to make any special effort this week to give them a happy birthday. So not going to, definitely not a card or something I would give my aunts. Well, one aunt is dead from cancer. She had some brain cancer or something like that. So not going to make any special effort. And so just saying. Gonna load these bad boys up first. And then, yeah. Okay, wrap one up. That's good. Maybe put it to the side right now. I'm gonna make some breakfast tacos, baby. Oh wow. The pool guys here? Okay. Da 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 da. What if a family or a group of people or an organization tried to have total silence and try to break the chain of 6 degrees of separation? Yeah, to stop the communication transmission chain. It would probably fail. Somebody would probably screw it up, you know. Loose lips sink ships, as it were. So somebody would fuck it up because they would just have the need to communicate the information just naturally. So yeah, somebody would foobar it up eventually. Maybe a guy named James, he has a stroke, let's say. And let's say he wants to keep that a secret. And he doesn't want to know, doesn't want anybody to know that he's in a wheelchair. And he's crippled now. And then all of a sudden, I'm talking with one of James's acquaintances at the, I don't know, let's just call it at the grocery store. And like, did you hear what happened to James? What happened to James? Yeah, he had a stroke. He's crippled now. Oh, really? Six degrees of separation. Then you got the Patriot Act. You got the National Security Agency and the corporations, and they spy on our devices and our computers and our online activity and so forth. They track us. They spy on us. It's not just, bad actors and people that don't like us that do it. But, it's the government and corporations too. So it's not just the 6 degrees of separation only spreading information. Oh. Okay, so we can wrap it up. I'll take it. Wrap it up. I'll take it. The Fabulous Thunderbirds. I just love your sexy ways now, baby. What's the next lyric is like, I just love your I don't know. Wrap it up, I'll take it. I just love your Fabulous Thunderbirds. They kind of sound like if Tom Jones had a band or something. Sounds like that. I mean, if Tom Jones had like a blues band. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Wrap it up, I'll take it. Wrap. That's a good one. So it's not just your neighbor spying on you with the Ring door camera and all that. Yeah. It's not just your neighbor spying on everything you do with all their cameras everywhere, and businesses with their surveillance cameras everywhere, but it's the government too, and the iPhone tracking device and all of that. So it's like, well, when can a brother or sister get some private time on their own? I mean, I guess you could take a walk through the wilderness and throw your phone in your car or something like that. Then you'll be off the grid, kind of, sort of. I guess you can just throw all your shit away and then just go off to the wilderness, and then you'll be a free man or woman, right? Yeah, in theory. So let's go ahead and do this. All right. Be like that hacker that hacked into the banks and stole all the money and then went off to the California wilderness. Yeah, that guy was a genius. Oh. He was like Mr. Robot. He was like a genius level hacker. Okay, you want a cheese? There you go, baby. Y'all are good babies, okay? Bella, you want cheese? Cheese? Okay, there you go, baby. All right. I just love your sexy ways now, baby. I think about you all for days now, baby. Wrap it up, I'll take it. Wrap it up, I'll take it. That's a good one, dude. Wrap. It's the band's called the Fabulous Thunderbirds. All right. Now we're cooking those breakfast tacos. Got the Austin, Texas coffee mug, and so it's a great day in Texas. We wrap up another one. Welcome to Tejas. Oh yeah. So D'Amico Ryans wanted to say that it was unnecessary roughness that caused the concussive episode, but the flag was removed. Okay, so there was no flag for unnecessary roughness. I think if you got big, muscular, young guys that weigh anywhere from, I don't know, 260 pounds to 300, 400 pounds. I mean, I don't know what the range is, but when you got a bunch of big ass dudes and they're young and they're really jacked and they're like 6'5" and 380 pounds full of muscle, and they're coming to wreck your ass. Football helmets and padding aside, yeah. There is no such thing as safety on a football field when you got that kind of game going on. It's like saying I'm going to fight a bunch of guys and I'm not going to get damaged. I'm going to fight a guy who's 6'3" and not going to face any damage. The likelihood is that I'm going to face some damage, especially if they're of a particular age. You could add in weapons involved too, right? So if there's any weapons involved, then things go south pretty quickly. But there's guns or knives or swords or bats or what have you. Do do. So the expectation that you're going to play a game with young, strong, virulent, powerful men and not get hurt is laughable, really. It's a joke. And make sports safe. All right. Look at that sausage. Make a real eggy one, I guess. All right. Excellent. Ooh. Okay, that one kind of came undone, like Duran Duran. When I come undone, know that you're breaking my heart at the seams. I know you're breaking my heart at the seams. Know that you're breaking my heart to pieces. Y'all know the rest of it. Did my breakfast taco kind of fall apart? I'll eat that one, and then yeah. That one opened up. That's good on that. Okay. Yeah, that bad boy's done, and then let's put on the other bad boy. Bad boys, what you gonna do? Ooh, when they come for you. Bad boys. Are they making Bad Boys 5? Yeah, the Bad Boys will be pretty funny. Bad Boys 5 with I'm getting too old for this shit. Oh, my back. Ball State. Oh, I gotta pee again. Oh shit, my dick doesn't work. Ah! Bad Boys 5. Everybody's excited. Yes. Bad Boys 5. Way past middle age. Or Bad Boys 5, Senior Citizens. Oh, it's going to be a big hit. Oh, my back. Oh, I need more Viagra. Ooh, boing. It'll be great. No, I can't wait to hear Martin Lawrence go, man, I'm too old for this shit. Hear the classic Danny Glover line from Lethal Weapon. I'm getting too old for this shit. Yeah, I'll go, ah, my favorite part. But it would be nice if he said, oh, my penis doesn't work anymore. That'd be even better. Or maybe they can go for a colorectal screening or something. And then Will Smith can be like, but you gotta get it, brother. And then Martin Lawrence could be like, I don't want another man looking at my asshole. Yeah, it'd be, oh man, Bad Boys 5. Can't wait for it. Bad Boys 5 and 6. Those are gonna be classics. Well, maybe I could just put some of these up, and then if I have to freeze them, then I could unfreeze them. Yeah. I could freeze them, then I could please them. Then I could seize them back in the... And you can finish the wrap. After I burp. Okay. I could seize them, carpe diem. I'll see you at the Coliseum, back to the museum, or something like that. Yeah, that'd be good. I think that would take care of it. Just don't tell me when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out. Just tell me when Bad Boys 5 comes out, though. So we'll go see it together. Not. Ha ha ha. They said movies are down by 27% over the last year or so because there's no Bad Boys 5. There's no Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. Yeah. I better get with it. Bad boys, increase the revenue. What you gonna do when you make the revenue? Ooh. Yeah. Bad boys, what they gonna do when they come back with the revenue? Ooh. God bless and best of success. That's pretty much the tacos. I'll probably freeze some in case Mom doesn't want one. If she goes to McDonald's or something, or Popeyes, then something like that, then I'll just go ahead and freeze them up in a freezer bag. And then that means that one day I could say, oh man, I need a breakfast taco. And I just heat it up real quick. And so that's the beauty of it. It's a gift that can keep on giving on. God bless. Have a marvelous Monday.